Welcome everyone to this edition of the YOGAmazing video podcast. I am Chaz. I'm your host and welcome back. Now this episode is brought to us by audible.com. Now they are the internet's leading provider of audiobooks with more than 100,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature. So whether you're into yoga, cooking, autobiography, fiction, science fiction, whatever, they've got a book up there for you. Now, what I'm going to announce today to you, though, is something new. It's called the A-List collection, which has some of Hollywood's brightest stars bringing their favorite reads to life. We got A Rage in Harlem, read by Samuel L. Jackson. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, read by Anne Hathaway. The Member of Our Wedding, read by Susan Sarandon. And Therese Raquin, read by Kate Winslet. So that's just a few of the A-list that Hollywood's doing with audible.com right now. So please, if you would like to check out the A-list, because you are my A-list on the YOGAmazing podcast, please go to audiblepodcast.com/Chaz, okay? audiblepodcast.com/Chaz, and you can pick up one of those A-list audiobooks for yourself. Now, let's get into this week's email. And actually, I put a shout out there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all that stuff. And people responded, I said, hey, let's do a simple class. And people came back and they said all kinds of ideas. But I utilized the ideas from Crystal, Haley, and Laura. They're finishing up their college exams, and they said, Chaz, we're stressing out. What can you do? So I thought, well, why don't I do a shorter class? Because I know you're not going to have a lot of time, but sometimes even a 20, 25-minute class, a lot of people don't have time to do. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. So on this one, it's going to be like 5, 6 poses that are going to be beneficial for helping you to get through a very stressful time. Could be work related. It could be college exams. It could be you ran out of gas and you're in the middle of nowhere. Well, do this series of poses, and hopefully it'll help you through that. So that's what we're going to do. So if you have an idea like Laura, Haley, and Crystal, please send it to me, Chaz@yogamazing.com, right there. And you can always find me in Facebook, YouTube, and in Twitter. Other big news coming up is the YOGAmazing Road Trip 2012 has been announced, and the dates are on the website. So if you go to yogamazing.com/roadtrip.html, it's right there. You'll be able to see the dates. I'm going to be in St. Paul, Minnesota on the 9th of June, 2012, which is not too far away. And then the 10th, the day after, I'll be in Duluth. So the pricing and information, everything's up there. I've already got people signing up. It's going to be very limited size classes, probably 15 to 20 max because of the size of the studios. So if you'd like me to come to your city, just let me know. That's what they did with me up in Minnesota. They were followers, and they said, I got the word out that I wanted to come up there, and they said, well, come on up. We've got the studio. So if you don't own a studio, help me to come into your city and find a studio. And I'll come into your area and not only teach a class, but also film a YOGAmazing podcast with you. And who knows, maybe Europe as well. Just help me, folks. Come on, that's how this is all working. So we can all do yoga together. So remember, as we go through today's class, to breathe, relax, and have fun in this very special edition, the very de-stressful edition of the YOGAmazing video podcast. To start off the class, one thing we always talk about is breathing. And it's a very simple way of helping you to de-stress. Because when you get flustered or a little bit stressed, you start breathing harder, which means your body starts to tighten up. So you get stressed. So the one thing that you can always do is just do deep breathing, big inhales, big exhales, just like when you were a kid and your mom would say, okay, count to 10 or something. Maybe she did, maybe he or she didn't. But it's a great way, just big inhales and big exhales. So we're going to do that for just a moment here. So you're going to sit on your heels. If it hurts, you can put a little rolled up blanket under your feet. Palms up, and just take some deep breaths here. Big inhales and exhales. And just set your own rhythm. You don't need to follow me. Just breathe deeply and hang out with it. Breathing is very powerful. And if that's all that you have time to do, this breathing exercise, Ujjayi breathing, is always beneficial. Always beneficial. here, remember as we go through the class, keep breathing deeply the entire time so that it's all there. Now, a lot of times we carry a lot of tension in our shoulders, especially if you're studying for an exam or you're at work, you're always crouched over in that type of position. So the one thing that we're going to work on here is some shoulder rolls. It's very simple. We're going to roll shoulders forwards and backwards. So from here, we're going to roll the shoulders up and forward. Just roll them in circles. We're going to do a couple of variations on this. And then roll them back. And then roll them forward again. And then back. Now from here, bring the arms up. And you're going to take the palms up. Now we're going to do shoulder rolls here as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to start rolling the shoulders, but you're not doing this. You're not bending the arms, okay? We're not rubber banding the arms. So you're just rolling the shoulders and keeping the arms straight and rolling down as you push through the palms. And just take it nice and slow. Follow your own rhythm. And then when you touch your legs, bring it back up, inhaling. And then exhaling down. And just follow your own breathing, a couple more. And taking it down. Good. And one more. And down. From here, we're going to go into our down dog. And the reason I like going into down dogs is, a down dog's a great pose because if you can't do an inversion or a headstand, down dog is not like a headstand or a shoulder stand where you're in an upside down position, inversion. But it's close. A lot of people say, yes, it is. No, it's not. Kind of, sort of, well, not really. But it is in a way. Because it brings blood flow to your head, so it calms you down and wakes you up. It also gives you some strength. It gives you some energy as well. So from here, let's take it back into a down dog. Remember to flatten the palms, spread the fingers, roll the shoulder blades away, deepen the breath. I always tell people that some days when all you have time to do is a down dog, then that's it. There's been days where I don't get my personal practice in, and I can always spend a couple minutes in down dog and feel like I've at least accomplished something, for me, yoga-wise. Just breathe here. And then from here, you're going to walk your feet forward. And then we're going to be doing a standing forward fold. And I always give this one, I always tell people, again, another great pose. You could do this in your office, close your door, find a place, just back your bottom into the wall, relax your arms. Don't push into the floor with your arms, palms up, and be like a rag doll. And then bringing it up. Good. Arms up. And bring it to the center. Now, people always ask me, Chaz, why is it, let me fix my mat, that we do a lot of the poses over and over and over that are similar. Why can't we do some other things? And on occasion, I do bring in lots of different poses, but it's kind of like when you go to a doctor and you have to write a prescription. These poses are the prescription for your needs. So maybe you've done a down dog tons of times, or maybe you've done the Cobra, or Warrior One, which are going to be things that we do. It's about the prescription of your need. So don't feel like just because you haven't practiced every yoga pose under the sun, and I haven't either, but that's okay because I practice the poses I need that will benefit what I'm looking for at that time. And the same thing for you, just breathe and accept what the prescription is for your needs. It's not, it's like I look at yoga as I'm not worried on whether I can do every yoga pose in the book. I'm worried that I'm not doing the poses that I need to be doing to help me become healthier. Okay? Make sense? That's why. So I got to answer that question real quick. So now, warrior one. Now, from here, remember, we're going to square our hips and chest forward. So you want to be facing that way. You don't want it to be slightly turned in. You want your hips to be squared up. Okay, so square your hips up. Good. Bring the arms up. Big inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to bend the knee in the front. And then I want you to flatten the foot in the back. Okay? Now, square your hips up. Push to the outer part of the heel. Reach with the fingertips. Deepen the breath. Gaze forward. Bring it up, rotate, take it to the other side. Same thing, arms up, inhaling. And as you exhale, bend the front knee, flatten that back right foot, square the hips forward, reach with the fingertips, square the chin up, gaze forward, deepen the breath. All muscles should be on. You shouldn't be lazy. You should reach. This is also great for toning as well, this pose. And bring it back. Now this time we're going to go into a warrior one lunge, a variation on the theme. Get a little balance and focus in here and firm up that back leg. Firm it up. You want your bum to be tight. Firm it up. A little bit of bottom work in here as well. Up, rotate. Warrior one lunge, sink it in. And bring it up, hands to the hips. That's it for the standing sequence. And we're going to come forward, arms up. Again, standing forward fold. Walk into a down dog. And you're going to drop to your knees and bring it to lying on your stomach for Cobra. So, hands by the chest, thumbs by the chest, elbows tucked in, neck neutral with the spine. Take a great big inhale. And as you exhale, lift using your lower back, elbows tucked in, deepen the breath. And release. Turn your head to the side, palms up. Back to the center. One more. Cobra. Inhale and exhale. Lift. And release. Turn your head the other way, palms up. And bring yourself up, crisscross your legs, and we're going to sit on our bottom. And all we're going to do here is a seated twist. So big inhale, and as you exhale, twist looking over the shoulder. Release back to the center, crisscross your legs the other way, inhaling and exhaling. Release. Now lay on your back. Now we're going to do a nice little twist here. Actually, we're going to bring it into a half bridge. first. So, palms down and just lift the hips up, neck long. And bring it down vertebrae by vertebrae. And bringing it back up one more time. And release down. Squeeze it in. Big hug. Forehead to the knees. Good. And take it to a T position and legs to the right, look to the left. And roll the left, look to the right. And bring it back to the center. One more big hug. And then stretch it out on the floor for Shavasana, the resting pose. Yeah, I told you it was going to be a very simple, short class that's going to help you de-stress. So hopefully utilize this on a daily basis if you're feeling stressed, or in any situation you can make this longer, you can make it a little bit shorter. Pick the poses that are beneficial to you. But these are the poses for little de-stressing throughout the day. So just take these next few minutes and just surrender. You could be lying on the floor, or you could be even at your desk. Just close your eyes for a few deep breaths, or stay there for as long as you can on the floor or in the chair, and just relax and just hang out and just be at peace. Take the peace and the strength and share it. Namaste.